We can only assume that Valve are reserving their #1 Source 2 Half-Life 3 Christmas Special Counter-Strike update for sometime in December, because this latest update only contains changes to 2 of the community-made maps. But some of these changes are significant. Let's investigate. FM Pone, ever the perfectionist, continues to change Subzero. There is no longer a door leading from hut to bombsite B. This will radically alter how the site plays after a bomb has been planted. There aren't a lot of places for people to hide on the site itself, and all remaining entrances to the site are from roughly the same direction. People will still be able to hide in the hut itself, but its walls have gotten thicker and you'll require a sniper to wallbang through into the site. The other huge change has been made to middle, which has now been opened up to a site. This completely changes how this part of the map plays, and I like it. Mid snakes around several times, eventually leading to bombsite A, and the bottom entrance to vent has gone completely. Looks like FM Pone took his sign literally. Here's a before and after, showing how the vent has been simplified into a one-way option for terrorists. The vent can now only be reached from near T-spawn, with 2 one-way drops leading down to bombsite A. It would take 3 players to boost back up the other way again.
Check in.
These crates in drop at A have been removed, simplifying the area and removing a hiding place. And what's with this water-eating guns update? I thought it referred to this bit here, where weapons could land in places where they were no longer retrievable, but it actually means something else. Dropped weapons used to disappear under the water's surface, making it a nightmare to locate them, but they'll now eerily float, still visible. They can still get dropped places they can't be retrieved though, and the soundscapes have been adjusted. CT spawn now features wind and water sounds that it didn't previously, for example. Now onto Biome's updates, which are even more sizable. Its middle area has changed extensively. It's now double the width, giving terrorists a lot more room down the left-hand side to explore, but graze freely they shan't, because rather than 2 routes that end up leading to the same doorway, CTs now have a raised lookout area with which to snipe up middle from. This is kind of a big deal. You will have to totally relearn this part of the map as both sides. The lookout is a powerful spot, though snipers up here will have to pay attention to the red door, or should I say, squeaky, as terrorists pushing this area could otherwise catch them off guard. There are red crosses on the walls, possibly to line grenade throws up with, but these fade out at a distance, while those in Old Mid do not. I also noticed the map's locations have official names now. We won't have to rely on Reddit's questionable suggestions any longer. Top of middle has also changed, with a vent added to the right-hand side. Seeing the radar overview close up will demonstrate the change best. I'll now show this as a side-by-side if you are a terrorist rushing from short A to mid. The vent itself is hidden from middle, but the trade-off is that breaking the vent will reveal your location to any nearby CTs. Back to short A again, and the sight line between main hall and outside has been obstructed, limiting the information that CTs can gather from pushing up to this point. That's right people, it's no longer short A, it's main hall. Fixed boost with visibility glitch on A long could mean many things. This map was aggressively optimised with invisible stuff everywhere, which would make stuff pop in and out of view as you flew about, though I couldn't find any playable spots where this was an issue. This update has, however, rectified an issue that I had with long A in my recent contact point analysis of the map. I found that, for CTs in particular, grenades would bounce off an invisible wall above this corner here. This is no longer an issue at all. And I guess, yeah, it stops a visibility glitch on this corner as well. In fact, this update fixes pretty much everything I covered in my contact point analysis video. Since we're talking about invisible walls, the map's maker, JD40, has torn a hole in his beautiful biome just for me, which will let terrorists nade from their spawn into mid earlier than before. CTs haven't missed out either. At first glance, it looks like it's been made harder for them to grenade into middle, but that's not the case. Previously, there was an invisible wall here that grenades would unfairly bounce off of. At least now you can see the wall, and if your grenades bounce off this, then it's because you threw a bad grenade. In fact, you can almost see the whole biome if you get high enough. Before, distant areas would be aggressively cold. This has been replaced with high-up walls, which serve 3 purposes. First, optimization. Second, they'll help players to line grenade throws up with. And third, they don't feel so cheap when they block your grenades, compared with the old version's invisible walls everywhere. And a perk for me is that it will make flybys on this map a hell of a lot easier to do. The catwalk leading from terrorist spawn to long A was always a bit pointless, as it took longer to do than the other route did. It's now been blocked off from one end, making it even more useless for rushing. I'm happy this spot remains though, as it is pretty and has become an even better spot for CTs to hide at the end of the round, though you can no longer plummet off to your death. Shame. The crates at Arch have been extended, removing a little campy spot that used to exist down the side of the crate in the old map version, and it's now possible to jump from B up into heaven by jumping on this railing, then onto this new crate here, and then over the gap, a spot nicely known as Hell. Just be careful, if you hide in this corner here, you're hidden from attackers from heaven, but jumping will bounce you off the side. Plus there's a horrible join here just between the floor props. And while the patch notes claim a visibility glitch at long A has been fixed, I found another if you stand at CT and look across to long A. The curb props fade out way too early. So yeah, Biome has had a lot of changes, many of which render my contact point analysis video obsolete. But I don't care about that. It's always nice to see a map maker who cares about his creation. Here are my contact point analyses for both of these maps, which, as I've said, will now need changing.